So here I am, haha, and I have things I'm going to show you, and a lot of things on my brain, thoughts and feelings that I would like to try to express to you, but know that scrambled eggs up here, things may not come out in an orderly fashion or make total sense in any way, but we're gonna go with the best of it. So, Villain Need Foundation on. As you know, this is a non-profit organization and I'm on their board of advisors. So why not advise you all about it? And you've seen this before, you've seen other pamphlets, brochures, whatever you'd like to call it, although it's kind of thick like a little mini magazine, and in which you open it up and usually goes on about their mission statement and their philosophy and how they want to support adults with special needs, including but not limited to autism, by nurturing, identifying, and developing each individual potential. You have flip around, I don't think it's in here, but you know, you can see what the Hamlet Plaza and all that is gonna look like per se, and you'll see about the acres, the gardens, the kitchen, the computer stuff, all that wonderful things that they talk about having. But let me tell you something. Let's throw that all out the window, okay? Villain Need Foundation is so much more than the Plaza, so much more than the Hamlet Academy, so much more than their acres. That's right, their horses and their stables and the gardens. You have a garden, like a greenhouse where you grow flowers and things like that, a botany garden, like, you know, botanists, like plants. And then you have your produce garden with your vegetables and your fruits and all the yummy things like that. You have lots, restaurants, shops, the whole shebang bang. But you know what? Villain Need Foundation is so much more than that. And the more I hang out with the Villain Need Foundation, the crew, if you will, we'll call them that, you know, your board of trustees, your board of advisors, your team players, volunteers, interns, everybody, let's call it the crew. The more I hang out with them, whether it's at a meeting, whether it's just stopping by Katie's house to drop something off or pick something up, or these events that we've had. I've been to 2 events, the Cinco de Mayo one, and most recently the Bridge the Gap Gala, which is, as the thing I just flung said, welcome to our annual. An annual usually means yearly, so bound to be another one. And the first moment that I met Katie and Aaron, right away I just knew this is where I belonged. And let me tell you something about the Villain Need Foundation and what it has personally done for me and what I hope it will do for others. Now, growing up, ever since I was little, I felt that I connected more to adults than to my peers. Having Asperger's syndrome, you know, our brains are wired differently than neurotypicals, meaning people that are not on the spectrum. So things are just different in general with us, and like chronologically, I don't know if this is the first time I'm sharing this with everybody, but I want to put it all out on this table here. So chronologically, I'm 26 years old, but mentally, I believe I'm like, what, 16, because we're like 2/3 our age. I could be slightly off on the math there, not good at math, don't remember exactly the percentage, but I'm more like, you know, like technically, mentally a teenager in a way. So, you know, I always felt kind of behind in my peers when they wanted to party or drink or have a boyfriend. I was like, no. But anyway, there's times where I do feel like, you know, I am young at heart and enjoy things that younger people do that most people my age would be like, have way outgrown years ago. And then there's parts of me where I feel like I'm 45, I'm like this old soul, and I have so much to say, and it's like profound and spiritual, and it's like, it comes out of my mouth and people are like, oh, where did you learn that? Like, it took me till I was 40 and older to figure that out, and you're only 26 and you've got it like down pat. It blows people's minds. So I feel like I connect to young kids and old people, but not really in the middle. And I love, because I had an aunt with Down syndrome, I love working and helping out with the special needs kids and the special needs community, And obviously, Filling Foundation is all about bridging that gap between the special needs community and the other community. You have like column A and column B. So, and growing up, mostly I had these experiences in high school, and that was right up the road here where my elementary school and high school is. I volunteered with a class of autistic kids, and then a class which is like learning differences children, and they're preschool, like borderline kindergarten level, so like 4 and 5 years old. And what I loved about that, and this is kind of in the midst of like when my aunt was dying and then when my aunt passed away, because whenever I'd go to my grandma's house where my aunt lived, she would just light up like a Christmas tree and be so excited to see my mom and I, and it was the best feeling in the world. So it's like when I'd go and volunteer at these classrooms, they would get so excited when I walked in the room. Like, imagine, your favorite celebrity or someone who you really look up to and admire walking into a room and you just like can't believe it. It's like Elvis has entered the building. I don't know, I could be coming off as arrogant, condescending, and narcissistic in that, but really walking into a room and having a bunch of little ones be like, oh my gosh, like it's Mallory, like Mallory's here, and they smile and they wave, they say hello, they want to tell you something, show you something, they want you to play with them. It's like their day is kind of been made in a way. And then in high school, and I was in a resource room, and then you have like your special ed, if you will. You kind of like, you got like different levels. You have like your honors, advanced, norm, then your resource room, and like the special ed. So anyway, like whenever I'd walk into that one classroom, everyone would be like, oh, it's Mallory, and like even everyone, they would just get so excited to see me. And honestly, it is a great feeling when someone truly appreciates you for who you are and gets excited to see you, and they want to involve you into their lives and into their world and have you be a part of something. That is the best feeling. And I felt like that, at work. When I worked with the senior citizens, like with elderly, like my smile, it would honestly make their day. And I feel like, an alien, so to speak, and that I feel like I'm living in a world that wasn't made for me. And I feel this way, and I know of other Aspies out there that feel this way. They have conveyed to me and others that they feel lonely. It's like lonely. I feel lonely all the time. Like, I'm just a lonely person. And you could put me in a room that's crowded and full of people. First of all, I'd hate that. But even if I was in a room full of crowd, it's like just full of people, like thousands of people, hundreds of people, whatever. There's like a lot of people. I still feel alone and very lonely because I'm Aspie and they're not. And I feel like when you put Aspies together, there's kind of a special bond, and it's unique and different than like an Aspie and a non-Aspie, like trying to have a relationship or be cordial or acquaintances or whatever. And what I love so much about Filling Foundation is whenever I hang out with the crew, with everyone, I don't feel weird. I don't feel awkward. I don't feel like a misfit. I don't feel like I fit in. I feel like I am the same as everybody else. As my mom put it, you know, they leveled the playing field. It's like I was hanging out with my peers and they didn't look at me funny. They didn't like think I was odd or, oh, she's a fragile being, like let's be careful what we say around her or how we act. They acted like themselves. So in turn, I got to act like myself. The Phil and E Foundation, it's so much more than just getting to ride horses, learn how to cook for yourself, learning how to manage your money so maybe you can live on your own one day or pay bills and help contribute to the household. I mean, it goes so beyond that to the point where it's hard for me to even express fully, but I just, whenever I truly think about Phil and E, I get so emotional because I feel like that they really understand what they're doing and the need of this, and it's just like, for once in my life, I'm hanging around these neurotypicals, these average Joe people, and I feel like I'm one of them. I feel like I fit in, and I feel like I belong, and even if it's only for a minute or for a couple of hours, whether it's on the dance floor or just sitting with someone at a table, at a meeting, or just chatting in the corner, I mean, I feel like I fit in, like I belong. And I think feeling like, as an individual, feeling like you fit in and you belong somewhere, that is like, probably has to be the best feeling in the world. And I get so emotional, and I don't know if it's because like I'm an Aspie and this is so needed so badly that I'm just personally, secretively on the inside, like begging for something like this to come along and to actually happen and actually take place so I can have a future, so I can have a place to go and learn how to be more independent than I am and to grow